You know, right now we are streaming here this activity. Just imagine if we could be able to teach our colleagues who are staying in various parts of the countries, where each and every quarter meeting one is held, is streamed live. Just think about the impact we'll have. Everybody will be knowing what is happening in other parts of the country. And it's a very rich content for the benefit of the country. And you'll find that our usage, which is currently high on the social media, it will be more valuable rather than what maybe right now we are using the social media. It will create wealth, it will create businesses, because we'll now be able to interact more in terms of using the internet. Now, maybe coming back home, we have seen a significant growth in terms of access of the internet in Botswana. The mobile broadband is the one which is currently being used heavily. We are already heavy about more than 1.5 million currently, and is growing. And of course, this growth has its challenges. One of the challenges which I have to touch is, you know, each and every day, new applications are coming, requires high speed quality, high connectivity, which means that you need to upgrade the networks. And the service providers are battling. I know there is a cry that, you know, the speed of the internet in Botswana is still very low. It's something which we are working on it, and we are also engaging the service provider to see how we can improve the quality of service. It's something which I know it's a moving target, because tomorrow you deploy additional resources, you know, they get depleted within a day. You have to keep on working. And those are the challenges which you have to acknowledge, that we are facing those challenges as a country, and we need to work more. And one of the things which I'm expecting is the society to also engage us, so that we come up with alternative solutions in terms of how can we improve the speed of the internet in the country. The other issue, of course, is the issue of cost, which is a major issue. And I think we have heard data must fall. And we do agree that data must fall. You know, data prices must fall. But the issue is, when we say data prices must fall, we are not looking from the retail side. We have to say, how can we reduce the cost of providing internet service in Botswana? Because the issue is associated with cost. You know, in one forum, which I think it was during this, indicated to people that, you know what, we do have challenges. That, you know, we connect to the internet. You know, the internet connectivity, we have to buy the bandwidth all the way to an international hub somewhere in Europe, whether London, Brussels, wherever. Bear in mind, those costs have to be taken into consideration. How shall we pay to transit these countries to go to the undersea cable? Yes, we have, the government has assistance in terms of reducing those costs, but there is still a challenge that we now have to take those connectivity now to the ground, which means that is the local access networks. The deployment of being in order to improve that connectivity is one of those challenges which we are experiencing, and those costs we need to address. That's why I'm actually bearing that, you know, be active as a society, so that you can also address us to say, you know what, maybe you are not doing this properly. Modify this regulatory framework so that the price can come down. Those are the things which we are looking for. We are looking for an active participation of the chapter when we develop this regulatory framework and policy framework, so that we can move the industry forward. Finally, let me say the major challenge, which is as a final thing which I'm highlighting to you as a chapter that you will also look into, is the issue of cybersecurity. You know, cybersecurity, if we do not address it as all the stakeholders, it will erode all the things we have done, because people will lose confidence on the internet and they'll start not getting connected. So we need to work together as stakeholders to make sure that how do we get this issue of cybersecurity? Firstly, from the legal point of view, when legal legislation are tabled, I'm expecting a robust input from us as stakeholders to actually say to government, no, that also will not work. You better suggest Because right now you will find that legislation are gazetted, but there is no contribution and they get passed. And finally we complain to say, no, this legislation is not effective or what. But it's our duty to actually engage the policymakers and the legislators to say, no, we don't agree with these laws, we don't agree with these laws. This is not internationally harmonized. Let's modify this so that we educate them, because they are developing. If they develop and we do not contribute, it means that we will have to stay with those laws, unless we have done something. So we need to work hard in terms of I think the Cyber Crime Act has been revised. Please do look at it, and if there is anything, engage the relevant stakeholders to say, we don't feel this law is relevant. We need to improve on this one. So look at those legislations and please do assist us in terms of contributing. The other issues, of course, is on the some of you are working from the technical side. Let's enhance our technical security standard. Let's do more work in terms of when we deploy systems. Whatever we deploy, we have to make sure that the security issue is taken on board so that we can protect the end users, because I think that is very crucial that we do protect these end users. And of course, the issue of education, and I'm expecting that the society will play a critical role in terms of educating the end users, because we need to educate the end users in terms of how can they protect themselves while they're online. What can they do and what they cannot do? That is a critical issue which we have to address. So, of course, the establishment of the Internet Society, it really helped that at least it is one of those building blocks of international cooperation, because you have your other chapters which you'll be able to work with. So the issue of international cooperation will really be addressed, because we cannot address the issues of cybersecurity here alone. Like I indicated, the internet is a connection of multiple networks. There are various players in other countries. We need to talk to them, make sure that we have harmonized legislation. So with those short remarks, ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking forward for the active participation of the Internet Society chapter of Botswana, so that we do join us, and but we'll be calling for consultation forum, and we'll be inviting you, and we are looking for active participation. With that, thank you, Chairman.
Thank you so much. We thank Kepalexi from Bokra for that speech. I agree with him 100% that Dhaka must fall, because the prices can be really high sometimes. Now, this is also in line with the Internet Society vision, that the internet is for everyone, and which is really the theme for today's event. Now, you can imagine when prices are high, that people in rural areas might not be able to afford those prices, and internet can get really slow in other parts of the country. And even here in gaps, internet is extremely slow compared to other countries. So that's one of the issues that we would have to discuss, along with the internet security and the new bill that was passed through Parliament that he mentioned. At this juncture, I'm going to go ahead and invite from the Ministry of Transport and Communications, Re Kimele Batsalarang, to also say a few words. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Director of Ceremonies. May I simply say all protocol observed. You will pardon me, my voice is very unusual for those who know me. I and a few friends here who are in the audience. I've been clustered with a sore throat for a couple of months now, almost for 3 months. Medication, okay, so I have to accept that the H factor is catching up. I am here on behalf of the Deputy Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Transport and Communications, who is responsible for ICT, Mayor Alicia Mukuni. She was ready to come here this morning, but yesterday she was given another assignment. As you know, the President has been in China. and there is a meeting with the Chinese embassy that is taking place as we speak. So she has to represent the government, the ICT on behalf of the government. So that is where she is. And I wasn't supposed to be here. I was supposed to be having another meeting in my department. So for the SADC ICT ministers meeting in Namibia. So I had to cancel that one and give this one a priority. On that note, may I say it is my singular honor and privilege to officiate over this particular launch of the Internet Society chapter in Botswana. I wish to extend a special welcome to our guests from outside the country, those in the US, and those who are coming from anywhere else in the world, and also the Internet Society chapter in Botswana. It is, however, quite a lengthy process that I understand we have gone through to establish this chapter. But I'll come to that in a minute. All I am saying is that let me welcome all those who are coming from different parts of the world to Botswana and say on behalf of the government and the Republic of Botswana and these people, welcome you to this beautiful country of ours. It is our only Botswana. We don't have another Botswana. So you are more than welcome. But so this occasion, the formation of the Botswana chapter has come at the right time. And we are happy to see an active and futuristic community of the internet users, IT experts, young internet entrepreneurs, and information communication technology enthusiasts coming together to form the Botswana chapter of ISOC. Are you saying ISOC or ISOC?
ISOC.
But the I that is on the internet doesn't say I internet, internet. No, I don't abide by ISOC. They met and decided to form and register a national association of people committed to promote the responsible use of internet, with a vision that the internet is for everyone, which was emphasized by the previous speaker. There is no doubt, there isn't any denying that these type of technologies should benefit everyone. The society then applied to join Internet Society Global as a chapter, and that process has been successfully concluded. Therefore, we applaud you. I would like to congratulate you and your members for successfully registering for ISOC Global membership. I am told it is not an easy and simple process to be admitted to ISOC Global membership. I congratulate the 25 founding members of ISOC organizations. Are they all here? Shall we raise our hands, those who are in the principle of founding it? Oh, well done. The Botswana chapter, which we are launching here today, has become a member of the global family of more than 170 ISOC chapters now existing in over 152 countries. The Botswana chapter is formed and registered under Register of Society Regulations of the Republic of Botswana. The Society chapter, with the support of headquartered in the United States, Washington, D.C., aims to empower Botswana to fully benefit from the internet. The local chapter for free and affordable access to the internet for Botswana, encourage innovation among members, and promote the use of internet technology to achieve global competitiveness destination. Soon they will launch programs and activities that support the above objectives. Among them, they will also conduct education events, educating members and the general public about internet-related issues such as security, which was mentioned by Rekepale, broadband access, IPv6, child safety, network neutrality, and much more. Just on this very kind of child safety, we say we commemorate Safe Internet Day in Botswana. and it is normally held around April. So I expect yourselves, as we go perhaps in the media, to also, it's February, isn't it? I think it's in February. In February or April, one of the two. So may I request you to keep your eyes open, your ears right above the ground. If you lay on the ground, then you won't hear vibrations of the vehicles. Above the ground, that you will join us as the Ministry of Transport and Communication when we commemorate Cellular Internet Day, as well as the online child online protection. These are some of the things that we join hands with OCRA to bring more public awareness. The other thing that they are looking at is community programs, ensuring access for economic and disabilities, covering areas such as hardware, software distribution, and best practices. On this very one, the ministry is actually in the process of submitting a cabinet memorandum, which will then approve the strategy for women. I was in this one. Women, people living with disability, and the youth as well. So that cabinet memorandum, I expect before the end of the financial year should have been approved, because it has been ready, just a process to what that delay. So you can be rest assured that as a society, what you are listening to do here will be also active collaboration with what the government approves. Public policy programs is one of the things that you are aiming at, informing policy decision makers about internet uses such as net neutrality, copyright protection, and human rights. I have to turn to OCRA as we speak. The Communications Regulatory Act number 19 of 2012 gives OCRA the powers to look at all aspects of ICT, including broadcast. Whatever that has to deal with ICT, including the very one that we are talking about. So I'm just emphasizing on what Regabali was saying. We review regulations, we develop regulations, we develop frameworks, we develop policies that because the ICT is dynamic, and your input to these events when you are called to come and attend the workshops will be very, very crucial. So don't just say no, I don't have a place in there. You are actually very, very, very beneficiaries in your future and the future generation to come. One of the things that you are looking at is networking events, helping members connect with like-minded organizations and government departments who share interest in building the benefits of the internet to everyone. This also brings me back to the earlier submission that I made about child online protection and cellular internet use. My ministry stands ready to support initiatives like this one by ISOC Botswana chapter and its partnerships as well. My government has representatives here, I believe. They are supposed to be here. I find out from the director why those from the IT are not here. But we hope that the ministry will keep on engaging with you, the experts and the stakeholders of the industry, and hear your perspective on issues affecting how the Botswana government can successfully actualize our e-government strategy, which is known as the e-gov, digital government, online government, or connected government, which involves digital interactions between the government and its citizens. This is the one that you normally, because we like abbreviations, and G2C. It is not DTO. You write it with a 2, the actual number two. And then government and business, G2B. Government and employees, G2E, and also between government and governmental agencies and organizations, G2G. Let me just highlight for 30 seconds what is coming. You don't all come from Cameroon, do you? You are global. Parliament. You will yeah, going bully your MP. Yeah, that one will not be acceptable. If you do that, you might have to consider things that are not to be considered in this country. For those in the US, sorry, I need to pass by that one so that you don't hear. It is a digital internet-based information IT. Thing that our citizens greater initiative that I was talking about. But the experts think the system is safe, and how safe is it now? The G2C, the G2E, the G2T. How safe is it? The very same echoes that were the very sentiments that were echoed by regulators, which I believe you are also all concerned about. We had a short discussion a short while ago with Mayor, very prominent names, Mayor Ranzes, about what is happening in the internet. I want to tell you a sad story, and it is true. That's for you that when you are doing this, beware that there are challenges. One of my cousin's son lost his ID. He was over 16 by then he had applied. So he lost the whole tag with driver's license, no, with other documents and what they but Umama seen them. So this hooligan, I'll describe him as a hooligan, picked up the documents, went online, opened an internet account, WhatsApp and Facebook account using the case, and started insulting the former president himself. So he was enjoying it. And then guess what happens? The security agencies were after the son of my cousin and saying he is the one. And it went on and on. Now, what I was discussing with the Maran is that what can we do as experts? That when these things are highlighted to us, you as the website administrator, you as the platform owner, we as the experts, I'm including myself in there, I'm not much of a technocrat, I'm more of a policy person. What do we do under those instances? They actually picked up the key, locked him in the cell, and said, you better tell us. Cyberbullying. So these are some of the challenges that we are facing. The technological revolution in the world by storm, and there's not a corner of the globe that hasn't been affected, let alone a corner of this one. Exactly what I was saying a short while ago. The internet has brought about tremendous change in every aspect of our daily lives. It's changed how we live, how we work. I hope this event can shine the spotlight on how we as government can change and suit and adapt to the changing times. But it's so in government that we are getting there. Moreover, I hope I discuss how best our youth can use technology, especially the internet, to achieve knowledge-based society, which our president is calling almost every event where he is, and thus a future knowledge-based economy for the betterment of our people in today's competitive world. Now, the challenge that we have as the Ministry of Transport and Communication Communications is during his inauguration speech, the President of the Republic of Botswana, said, if the Ministry of Transport and Communications fails, then it will have failed the democratic dispensation of this country. He said that at the IST Africa conference. He was actually looking at our ministry. So you can see how very, very important what ICT has done to facilitate Botswana to move forward. So it's at the top of his agenda. So with yourselves, you can help us move forward and also achieve a greater readiness for the country to be able to shine. I'm sure we all desire and cyberspace for us, for our kids and for future generations. My ministry is there for those who have already extended organizing this event, the sponsors and strategic partners. I thank you because without your support and help, this event will be a successful institution. So, the big up for you and for those who have organized this event. In closing, I would like to say that it's my immense pleasure to officially the chapter of the internet. Do enjoy the declaration. Let us know what the government can do to help ensure that we are all safe, secure, on with our daily business and navigate the muddy and dynamic world of cyberspace. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for the privilege of your attention. I would like to extend my sincere thanks to our international experts for the support and to the local chapter members for all the hard work and putting all this together. I urge Botswana to rally behind eyes of Botswana, not only now as it launches, but in all its events and programs. Thank you, and time permitting, I will see you online. It is now my singular honor to declare eyes of Botswana chapter has now been officially launched activities for the calendar year 2018-19. And now, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I also hope to see you online.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, just a few housekeeping issues. In terms of protocol, the deputy should have spoken first. So because I don't want to get in trouble, I'm going to have to apologize. But we did that because Ray Kepaletri has an engagement. So he needed to speak first so that whenever he wants to leave, he can leave. All right, so it wasn't because I don't respect protocol. Unfortunately, the bandwidth is very slow, so I don't even think the guys in the States are enjoying this launch. So this is a challenge to both the PS and Bokra to do something about slow internet. They were not able to join us. And additionally, I understand there's supposed to be a presentation from ISO Global. So I hope that by the time they're supposed to present, the bandwidth will be much better. If you wanted to say something, sir.
Regulatory has put all the necessary regulatory things in place. The Botswana government has put very robust infrastructure in place. We have backup in every corner of this country. So the small challenge that we have is the power one. Where the West Africa cable submarine access, where the East Africa cable submarine access to the global internet access. Now, I'm going to say this very deliberately, and I'm going to challenge anyone who can stand and who can debate about it. There are specific cases that are contained here. But I'll stand by you if there's anything to check out tonight. The internet, it's not the internet, the connectivity I was one. So if the networks are running at 85%, our now, why should you then, if you have high capacity move even there's a contention ratio where your ISPs where you want 1 megabits per second, what is going to happen? When you all go online, when you yourselves as the users, when you are applying, if they tell you, well, we'll give you 5 TLF at 260, which is the download, 5 TLF has gone out of fashion, honest. And they say, okay, we'll give you 1 meg about, how much am I paying? 462. Yeah, that's the man who knows the price. And I'm sitting at home and using 2 of my cell phones, 2 of my daughters are online. We don't see Lotana. But what I'm trying to drive home is there's excess capacity in the center. It is us, the customers, who want to pay less and expect miracles to happen. No. However, there's high capacity in the center. Your ISP says, let me show you something. Your ISP tells you that is going to be providing you with 1 meg, which you pay 500 kula for. Let me just check something in this phone. Then, because these phones are clever nowadays, no, it's not on this phone. You can actually check the speed. I think you know that. You have to check the speed and tell the guy, look, I'm not having 1 meg that I'm paying for. And I want that 1 meg. The problem is the contention ratio in ADSLs, as well as yourself as to what capacity are issues. But as you have already alluded, the e-commerce one, that's why we are driving it so that it becomes affordable, but you can have high-speed internet connectivity. The capacity is there. Well, in other areas, for instance, in Havron, because you want me to just to clear the mist and go France somewhere else. We have done the FTTX. We will be doing greater with the FTTX. Fiber to the cabinet, fiber to the wall, fiber to the arc in business areas and everything. So that is something that is taking place. Other places are already connected. For instance, the CBD is fully connected. The main mall area in the surrounding Havron is fully connected. So all that remains is that the ISPs must end up look for more customers and then cut down on the price. The regulatory framework is very simple and straightforward. Here, key. Not customer, but connectivity. Ask for the right price. Ask for competitive prices. How CNRB is. What's it do to mom? Whenever I have what else you could have another choice? The choice is there for us to find the right person to supply me. Like, because I'm sure the sense they go up on the outcome. So I'll give us time. The other side came, but other goals later. So that's not a problem. But this is the reality. It's what you pay for and what you ask for. And those guys, if they give you 1 meg, ask for 1 meg. Check, because these phones are the way of checking on the internet. And say, and then the hotels are also another problem. There's a guideline as to the minimum bandwidth that the hotel should buy from the ISPs. But then those guys come in there, negotiate the price, they keep them the law. And then you have 200 guests in the hotel trying to access. Oh yes, the Lotana is going to do. This is where the basic problem is. So you as the ISOC Botswana chapter have to stand up against this and say, this is what we want, like officially registered. And it is your right to pin down and say, this is what you want. If ISPs are amongst yourselves here, you better tell them, wake up. We are now alive to the issues. And if there's anything that you want, I believe we have more time because then we would ask Bokra to run through the regulator reforms. But that's for another day after we have launched. Again, then we will assist Bokra in engaging. So we are going to be having another round of engagements with Bokra. So look out for them because they are available on the website and the local newspaper. Regarding further liberalization and further regulatory framework, including video streaming and what have you. These are not restricted. And Bokra does not dictate the that guy must give you 256 and he gives you 256 and then they say individual be prosecuted. Yeah. This is why we are saying one more quality out of it. There's one single problem, sir. Gaborone is congested. We don't have place for the operators to build mass. Tower. And I get to go home, and I can happens to be I don't know how you can promote. Just give you an example. Here's what 1,500 square meter plot, and I say I need 40 square meters. So you buy she asked for 600,000. Ah, where's the operator going to get there? Please, 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 let us work together as ISOC together with the PTOs, facilitate them, find where there are spaces, rent them at reasonable prices so that the major places don't get congested. This is where we have the current quality of service. So be rest assured that we as the ministry together with Bokra and the Ministry of Lands and something, like they mix up the names, but that is responsible for land. We are working on availing more sites for better quality of service. Thank you for raising that. I had to tell you.
Thank you also for that comprehensive response. While I might not necessarily agree with you, I must say you're hands-on and you know your stuff and what you're talking about. Yes. So these are the sort of leaders that we admire. Now we thank the WPS for that response. I'm going to have to invite the president of Internet Society, Botswana Chapter, Rachel. But before I call him to speak, I'd just like to say a few words about the registration process for ISOC. Rachel has been providing leadership in getting the chapter registered more Botswana because he had attended a cybersecurity conference where he was mentioned behind me as one of the upper middle income countries without a chapter of ISOC. So here we are, about 16 years later. Zimu is already far ahead because they have a lot of programs in Zimbabwe supported and funded by ISOC. Here we are launching today leadership that he has provided together with other people here who are pushing for Botswana to have a chapter of the Internet Society. And I know recently they flew him to Ethiopia to attend a conference for leaders of ISOC there, so that he could learn and come back and sensitize Botswana on the role of ISOC and raise awareness about what really ISOC aims to achieve in society. One of the concerns for ISOC, we have to get more members, because I know when the society started there were about 25 or 35. And because it's a voluntary organization, it thrives on membership. There will be people outside talking about membership and asking you to register. So please register and know about some of our exciting activities. I know now we just received a grant from ISOC Global of around $10,000 US, if I'm right, to commence training. to commence training for village development committees in rural Botswana, teach them on how to use computers and on the internet, what the internet is and how to use the internet, and give them laptops and internet modems so that they can connect to the internet. So we take in the internet to everyone as the mission and vision of ISOP envisages. There are many fellowships, many opportunities, many programs that ISOP offers. So I urge you to apply for membership so that you can benefit from those programs. I'm absolutely proud at this juncture to invite ISOP Botswana President, Mr. Chere, to introduce ISOP BW. Over to you, sir.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. All protocol observed. My role is simple: to introduce the Botswana chapter today. Let me start telling you that the chapter officially chartered this February. It was a daunting task, but we made it. And here, from today, we are in business now. So we are going to take the internet to the people. So we currently have about 90 members, and we'll be promoting to encourage more Botswana to join ISOP. Yes, our mission. The mission of ISOP Botswana is to promote openness. Openness meaning that internet should be for everyone. And we also want to promote trust in the internet, because I'm aware that many people don't trust the internet, even here in this room. Some people are scared of doing online transactions, and each use of internet can improve productivity. If we could all, harness the potential of the internet by using online banking, and I think e-wallet is doing well. Apparently, people are using e-wallet, and FNB is making a lot of money. And we also want to focus on affordability. Internet in Botswana is the most expensive. I think we are most expensive in the region. And yet, okay, so I hear, I think we are among the most expensive. And we also want to promote security. Internet, comes with a lot of challenges: cyber criminals, cyber terrorism, and a lot more. That's our mission. Now, let me get into our objectives. Internet Society Botswana is going to serve as a focal point for cooperation. We are going to call the ministry. They're already here, as you can see. We're going to call BOCRA. And most importantly, we are going to engage members of the public. Internet makes a lot of things possible. It is deliberate that we didn't want more people to come, because we encourage people to attend meetings online. So we want everybody here to be with us wherever they are, whether you are in Inale, Olo, Ongukwe, and so forth. So we want people to benefit from the internet. That is one of our objectives. And we want to advance policies and strategies that strengthen the internet's growth and evolution. So we are going to be working with the government, BOCRA, and taking advantage of our pool of experts globally, to provide advisory to government, so that they can, come up with policies that can, help Botswana benefit from the internet. So we are also going to promote professional development and promote innovation among Botswana, especially young people, so that they can benefit from the internet. Internet makes life easy for everybody. Right now, I think most of us here, but have for similar business because whatever market with internet, you can't finish the market. You can start your business wherever you are in a remote area and still make a lot of money. I hope most of you are aware that the biggest companies now globally are the ones that are trading on the internet, or Alibaba, or Amazon, or Google. So we want to teach Botswana that you can use the internet to look for opportunities and to trade wherever they are. So we are going to promote those things. We're also going to help provide reliable information about the internet and educate Botswana about internet-related issues, just like cybersecurity and other things. International standards to help provide reliable information about the internet. And we're going to also make sure Botswana can just like cybersecurity. You can be trying to research online and other things. So, and we are going to also make sure Botswana can improve on what they read online. You can be trying to research online on a subject, maybe chemistry, and then you get a very unreliable content. So you are going to fail the exam. Yeah? So we are going to make sure we teach them to be careful of the content that they get when they Google. So we are also going to provide forums for discussion and issues that affect internet evolution and development. So, ladies and gentlemen, those are our key objectives. Now, let me take this opportunity to introduce the National Executive Committee. We have a NEC, which has one the president. I'm the president of the society, as you all know. And we also have the vice president. Those are the founding National Executive Committee. Our vice president is Kofi Kamanga. He works for Okra. He couldn't make it today. And then we also have our secretary, who is Osewa Batisani. I think he's around here. He's snapping some pictures. We have our treasurer, Justice Mutabani. That's the guy who you should check when show you where the money is. We have our PR, public relations. Ubidwa Ahan Bikoro. I believe he's attending from Washington DC now. He's attending with us. And we have our programs manager, who is Anna Mogodi. And then our technical officer, who is Benson Mutwe. I think he's here. Gentleman who was on BTV this morning. So that's the National Executive Committee. So now let me introduce you on how to become a member. you on how to become a member. They benefit from a lot of free online education that ISOC offers. We want them to participate we want Botswana to participate in policy issues of the internet, because we don't want a situation where maybe the government of the day decided to just shut down Facebook. We can have a lot of depression in Botswana if Facebook can be shut down. But these things happens. If guys like our production manager, Montedi, takes he doesn't like the internet that much, chances down. So that's what we want Botswana to do. So the internet is open and fun. So I know we have a lot of internet celebrities in Botswana. You can use internet to keep busy and to play or post anything. We have so many celebrities like Jennifer Taylor, I don't know her, but I believe that is not. And we have online radio stations around. So you can with the internet you can start business with nothing. You only need internet connection, and then you can start. I know Botswana like complaining that capital is a problem, but with the internet, if you have $1,000, you can start trading. But I'm not talking about the common trading, like forex, that is scam that is currently in circulation. So the internet can be used for fun also. So we want people to actually, Botswana to enjoy. So now let me touch on internet issues in Botswana. We currently like investors in the internet sector. That's a big problem, but it's one of the biggest potentials. But in Botswana, people are not interested in investing in the internet, ISPs, content, and then the like. But there are a lot of opportunities. I think internet opportunities are much better than, say, agriculture or agriculture. We're in a dry country, so there's no rain, there's nothing. So we want to promote people to utilize the internet, to trade, to do business, to get their degrees. With the internet you can do anything. So we are going to be encouraging people to invest in the internet. In the internet, because there are a lot of. I'm not a fan of Bitcoin and forex stuff. That's why I'm. And the internet prices are, as previous speakers have deliberated on. Another challenge is lack of local content. It's that one. It's a big issue. We get all our content from, I think, USA. Why internet is expensive in Botswana? It is because we don't have local content. Yes. So when we all pull in content from outside, and that increases the cost of international bandwidth. So if we can, encourage local content creators here, we are going to end up enjoying the internet because it will be a lot faster and cheaper. So as Internet Society, we'll be going around encouraging, especially young people in the arts, to produce content, even with their phones, to make a living. So we are going to, lack of content is a challenge, but as Internet Society Botswana, we're going to tackle it. And obviously with support from other stakeholders like government, private sector, and the general public. So those are among the key internet issues that are challenging us. And then now, the most important one, we want Botswana, to contribute to development of internet. We don't just want to wait for Google to do innovation, and we are going to encourage technology. Botswana should be able to contribute to development of internet standards. Botswana should be able to also go to ITU and contribute to development of internet standards. Like currently, I think I'm too old, but I'm trying to make a contribution to development of 5G. I want to be part of the people who would contribute to development of 5G. I'm trying, though it's not easy, but I'm reading because of because of the internet now. I only need the connection and to read and study, to do the code and stuff. And then, like I said, internet is also play an important role in the economy. It's a big economy. So we are going to be encouraging Botswana also to have a bite of that huge cake, which Alibaba and Jack Ma and Google they don't want to take everything. Now, Facebook also want to take everything. They don't want anybody to benefit. But so we want Botswana to be proactive and go online and code and do their own social networks. So also like political, that is a very important thing because we are going to make sure that the incumbent government does not, press Botswana so that, filter content, so that, or cut off internet during elections, because apparently I know that opposition is too much online and saying a lot of using the online platform to campaign than anybody else. So if they shut it down, you say no, please open it so that they can also say their voice out. Yeah. So those are the issues. Those are the issues we'll be tackling. So most of the stance is online. So we're going to be now campaigning online to get members and to join so that they can also benefit from what the Internet Society is. Once you are a member, you are a member of, a member of Internet Society Botswana. You are a global member. You can benefit. Yeah. You can benefit from fellowships that are there. If you go to that website, you get a lot of opportunities fellowship. It's open. You just apply, and then you ask you to just support you. If you are a member, obviously, by default, we support any country. We stand by your side. So that is basically what we are going to be doing as Internet Society. And let's not take much of the time. I think they have to come out. Today is just the launch. Lemo Holoka House and Sore. At the anime, I'm Saturday, May, by Lucy's here. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank President Cherry for that speech. A lot of jokes throughout. I really like the part about not allowing the government to filter content is very important. I know that already in China, where people don't have access to Google, YouTube, and Facebook and other websites. We will let the Deputy PS respond at some point. But I just want to say membership, according to the membership also in Botswana between the ages of 16 and 75. Like Mr. Chino was saying, ISOC has a lot of fellowships and grants. I know the other members of ISOC, we've already funded, right? But now that there is a local chapter, let's get approved. You need to take advantage of those opportunities because maybe we have better idea of benefiting other people and ensuring that they have access to the internet. They'll go on that website, and I'm sure the document from the president of ISOC would show us how we really benefited from ISOC and some of the community members programs that we have are running. At this juncture, we go ahead and advise the person team to share with us some of their problems. Okay, over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you. For said. That I intend on some of the experiences we've had in Zimbabwe. I'm going to focus mostly on Chinese that they can gain our membership, so key. So I'll just share with you some of the experiments that we are actually running in Zimbabwe based on the features that we have. I think we're having challenges with we charted in 2024, so we are now 5 years, and okay, and to date, we've been successful is beyond the net grants for beyond the net grants, 2 short-term grants, 1 medium and 1 long-term. One of the projects that we are currently running, the teachers that we actually pick up is with that can be not teaching for our audience. One area that we are not on is most of us are familiar with the internet. If I show up things like I can have an idea of okay. One area that we are focusing on 2015 started a program that we call the IoT space, where we are kids between the ages of 12 and 18 in one of the most impoverished areas in Harare, and we've been fairly successful, even though we have actually deliberately made it a point not to make a lot of noise about it or not to scale. We've actually not scaled, we've just confined ourselves to that particular area, primarily for the reason that we've decided to prioritize impact over activity and achievement. Because it's so easy to be doing something and to be appearing to achieve something when in actual fact you're not impacting the target audience. So we are still learning. We've actually expanded that project to the extent that we've made an offshoot of the IoT makerspace. We've started another project that is IoT related, where we have identified the community that we're working with, and we realized that one of the key things that they're really interested in, it's not for now, it's not the internet, but food. You know, the crisis that Zimbabwe is been having for quite some time now. So we identified an area that we thought we could automate using IoT. So we picked the area of aquaponics. Aquaponics is where people grow fish and vegetables in an automated way. So it's a self-regulated system where we make use of pumps to pump out dirty water from the fish tanks into the vegetables, because apparently the vegetables like the dirty water. And once the water moves the vegetables, it goes back to the fish. So the rearing bit is automated, but the monitoring requires human intervention. So that's where we've come in. We've developed an IoT system. We made use of sensors and actuators that read the things like pH, things like the temperature, and we've connected that to a database. And all this was being developed by the kids from the makerspace. And we're talking about kids who, when we started, didn't understand what a password was. So we ended up saving their passwords. So every time they came, we'd say, this is your password. When they started, they didn't understand what a password was. But in 2017, we actually took these kids to do a presentation at the University of Zimbabwe. And to the computer science department, because apparently IoT is still in its infancy in Zimbabwe. So we took them to the Premier University, and they were demonstrating the application in real time because they brought in the sensors and everything. So that's one project that we've been working on, because we've decided to focus on key technologies because we have a target that we want to engage. And another project that we are currently working on is we are actually competing with you guys in the chapter zone. Another area that we have deliberately identified is key to our developmental needs is blockchain. And by blockchain, I'm not talking about Bitcoin. It's discouraged us on Bitcoin. But you know, blockchain is the underlying technology on which Bitcoin has been developed. And I would encourage you guys to look into this. It's going to change the internet. It's already changing the internet. I was listening to this concern on cyberbullying, security. Was the project that we are working on is on securing smart homes. With IoT comes things like smart homes, smart cities, and security is a big problem with IoT. So we are developing an application that we've developed on top of blockchain. Because apparently blockchain used to be for the geeks, but as it has evolved, a lot of applications like the one that we focus on called Hypermedia is like blockchain for everyone. So again, we're utilizing our makerspace kits, and we are now working with one of our partners, the leading blockchain company in Harare called Collins. So these guys are experts, but we are also bringing in our little boys and girls. Actually, when we finally develop the video, everything is going to be done by these kids from the makerspace. Okay, because we are bringing together IoT and blockchain and the web of things. Because apparently IoT is now getting to the ordinary person because of the development of the web of things. And so we are utilizing mostly open source without throwing a lot of details. I can say that we are utilizing some technology from Mozilla called the IoT Mozilla Gateway. So it's another project that we're working on. And okay. But maybe before I sit down, I intend to emphasize on again a broad area in a field that I feel we, particularly as Africans, have not taken advantage of, and that is open source. So we are placing a lot of emphasis on open source technology because, as you know, most of the standards that are developed on the internet are open standards. There's very little space that proprietary standards find in IETF. Maybe it's one area that I also need to talk briefly on. One of the areas that we found opportunities is in the Internet Engineering Task Force, the IETF. This is a board of ISO that is responsible for developing internet standards and protocols. Right? And we have been fortunate that we have been able to host what IETF call IETF remote viewing apps, where we connect remotely. So in March, we went to the University of Zimbabwe and then we connected because our focus is we want to have own local IETF apps. We've identified areas like HTTP that we feel people can jump in. Because the standards, the development of standards has been in existence for quite some time now. It's not so easy for some of our target audience to just jump into. We've identified areas that are human friendly, like HTTP, and we want to hammer on that. And so we've made the point that every time IETF meets, they meet 3 times a year, we'll make sure that we also host a remote viewing hub. Remote viewing hub is we just bring people together, we connect on Zoom, and people can participate in these meetings because they are open. Now, going back to the open source focus, right? All of the projects that we are using to engage our members, we are trying to promote open source as much as possible because we see lots of potential, especially now that open source is going into hardware. There's now open source hardware. So most of the hardware that we use in our makerspace, we're using things like the Arduino, the microbits. It's mostly open source hardware because we want to try open source because we feel there's a lot of potential in open source. And it also allows us to be what we are calling prosumers, right? A combination of producers and consumers. We just don't want to be consumers of the internet. We want to play our part in also producing technologies and also hopefully in producing the standards. So in a nutshell, these are some of the experiments. Some of them have not been very, very successful. I was hoping maybe to show on the slide, unfortunately, there are challenges. One of our projects, we actually having serious problems, and but we are soldiering on because we understand that whenever you get to the ground, some of these challenges come. But I was hoping to share with you some of these challenges so that in the event that you decide to check up some of these risks, you need to soldier on because we believe eventually we will get there. So with these few stories from Zimbabwe, I thank you for inviting me over and to share the Zimbabwean story. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Solomon Campbell, President of ISOC Zimbabwe. I was hoping you'd share us what was ISOC's position when the internet was shut down during the revolution in 2017 when they overthrew Mugabe. But anyway, that's a discussion for another day. It seems to me like they're doing a lot in Zimbabwe. So that's quite a challenge to Chair. Yeah, wonderful. That's a challenge to Chair and to the Programs Director for ISOC as we launch to start these collaborations to work on relevant programs for Botswana. All right. Ray Campbell spoke a lot about the Internet of Things, which is really a very interesting and hot topic when people discuss the third industrial revolution, the fourth industrial revolution, where now everything is getting connected. Elsewhere, they're talking about smart cities, where the whole transportation system is connected to the internet, where you could have your car be able to know which road to take because there isn't a lot of traffic. And if you're late, to be able to send a message to whoever you're going to meet to say you will be late because you're caught in traffic. Where your alarm clock can wake you up in the morning and be able to text the coffee maker to say, now you can start making coffee, so that when you're done with your shower, you could quickly have your coffee. And in the next few years, there will be many of these devices connected to the internet because of the advent of broadband. Already here, I know people have smart watches that are connected to the internet, smart headphones, and all those things. So I think it is relevant that we're having this discussion at this point in time. I'm going to invite Osiro from, there is someone in the US who wants to speak to us, right? So I'm going to hand over to our technical team to coordinate that. Over to you, sir. Oh, yeah, round of applause. A round of applause, he managed to fix the internet. Oh, okay. I want to go out and comment or say anything while he's still getting us connected. Yes.
Thank you, sir. The esteemed president of ISOC, about his comment about his assertion that the cost of internet is related to the lack of local content. The reason I ask is because, in my humble opinion, there is no shortage of local talent, no content producers. The challenge is that the ecosystem isn't an enabler to allow our local guys to actually take advantage of the commercial opportunities out there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for the question.
My name is Martha Mozama. I'm actually one of the local content creators. I run an Pan-African blog called The Afrofuturist, and it's focusing on foreign diplomacy, especially in Africa. My question is to the same speaker as well, predominantly on governance of the internet. In Africa, there's a growing trend of taxing social media that decreases open access to Africans. So are we, is the Botswana chapter also going to be looking into different forms of creating and establishing a stronger relationship with government with regards to governance and social, in terms of social media taxing and digital media laws, predominantly for the local content creators? That's all. Thank you.
Awesome. We'll take two more before we can get response.
Jumela, so my name is Daniel. What I want to ask is what you know concerning incentivizing local creators to build, which are your developers. So how then ISOC, because I see as if ISOC is sort of trying to drive its own projects and its own motivations, but then how would it enable decentralized building and an ecosystem of decentralized building where local creators can come on and ISOC could then speak on their behalf to say, we have these local creators, how would the government then be able to help them play against big players such as Google, Facebook, build your own social network, locally building your own websites and stuff like that.
Thank you for the question, Mr. Dube.
Okay, thank you everyone. Good morning. Yes, okay. The PPS, you talked about us creating content. What I feel is that we already have content in terms of information that is already of government offices. I'll show you an example. We just talked about cyberbullying in terms of your kids, what. But government already has good social protection policies, children act, what. So, but it's always hard to access that kind of information. Actually, I've already listed it on our platform, and I've realized that researchers outside also who are profiting us are starting out to use that and cut it into small, sensible information. So what are you going to do for us, WPS, coming from here to create content in terms of access to information from those sources? Like I just got in all your regulated bus and taxi fares from the GTRS, because apparently travel and tours operators are busy harassing people over prices. I just learned also that it's 25 across Cameroon, and for special taxi, and then it's 10 per kilometer. I didn't know that. Now I'm asking you that such content is already there. What are you going to do for us to access it for the information?
All right. I think we would have an opportunity to answer and to ask more questions at the end of all the presentations. There's still 2 more presentations to go. But for now, I would allow the 2 gentlemen to answer the questions that have been asked. But in the end, we have 30 minutes to deal with any further questions.
Hello, thank you, Mr. Justice. Yes, let me agree to the gentleman who just, I didn't get your name, but you can see. Yeah, it is true that there is some content, I would say some content. Now, like I mentioned, we like investors in internet technology. And even our ISPs, they don't have enough capital to invest in video delivery content platforms that content creators can load in and access this and sell it. Just maybe to share information that is in the public domain. And there's currently a war between ISPs and Wufinet. Wufinet is exploiting a tender where they want to build infrastructure to enable content creators to host content that will be developed locally. So now, as ISPs, we are saying now we are getting into a space. And yet, we don't have financial muscle to invest in content hosting platforms. It comes with it's quite a lot of money. Hey, Mr. Kiaku, you believe that there's a lot of content, but I can challenge you now that content will mean information. Information about anything, say Ministry of Transport and Communication. If you search on Google now, you will struggle to get information about the ministry. When you get it, it will be very shallow than the speech that we just heard. You are saying a lot of nice stuff that is not online. That's what we mean by there's no local content. It makes now internet in Botswana to be boring, and also to investors. So we need companies, private sector, to actually upload a lot of information on what they are offering online. So we still, like I understand Occupy Explore is now trying to lead. Where is he? He's trying to lead by going to companies and getting information. And I believe it's having challenges that people are refusing to give that information. It is not available online. If you go into, say, Botswana tourism website now, you will just see some fancy few words. But if you walk there, you see a lot is happening about Botswana tourism. That is not online. You understand? That's what we mean by the lack of local content. So now, the last time there was a film, local series, it was Togulos. Right now, do we have a series or a film that is produced locally and it's online? So that is what I was saying. Like, Bufinet is trying to come up with a platform where they can host that series, and for the content creator, and people can see the series and pay the content creator. So we don't have like that platform. Now people are just posting stuff for free on Facebook, like he's got nice content, but he can't benefit from it because there's no entity which is hosting and managing that content so that he can advertise, people can advertise and we can collect revenue for him. So we need that space. We need to promote investment in internet technology. BITC, even if you check their website, they are just promoting manufacturing. Government is doing everything to promote manufacturing, agriculture, and tourism. They don't want to, if they can put the same energy in promoting foreign direct investment in telecoms, we can actually go far, because it's internet is open. So I agree with you, say that content is there, but it's not enough. You need to create content that can interest people and you can sustain it. So we are currently struggling in terms of content. That is my view. Yes. So I believe I've answered of the two speakers, because they were talking about content is there, but it's a problem. And the other thing, we need investment so that content can be hosted locally, so that people can, access this easily and cheaply. So we need that. I believe I covered that. Thank you.
I like people who tell the truth. The president here has said the truth. We left everything to the private sector, the ISPs and the PTOs, to invest in hosting content. And he has said the truth, they are not able to do it. So Bofinet has come up with a project proposal to the government to say, here, this is the opportunity. Our local content is being accessed somewhere else and we just have the benefit of it. Local and the cultural industry, so to say. So we have agreed with Bofinet as government to say, we're going to find 25 million for you to develop that. So we're going to assist the Bofinet to host content. And we are already in agreement, there's no going back on it. We're going to find 25 million for Bofinet to do the hosting, because private sector are already here. But they are not doing anything. So by the end of this current financial year, 2018-19, by the beginning of 1920, we should have that running going into 2019-20. So we should have that running.
Thank you.
So I won't be quoted out of context. Local content. I said earlier on that our networks are running at 35%. And I disagree with the gentleman, our content is not there. President Anagu, otherwise we wouldn't be running at 25%. And we 35% of our networks. Yeah, taking local content. From the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, that is where the taxation part of it is coming from. And the Ministry of Youth Development, Sport and Culture are the ones to say to Ministry of Finance and Cabinet and say, please let us do tax incentives for the cultural industries. So your role as you are here is to stand up and let's engage the Ministry of Sports and Culture to engage the Ministry of Finance and Development. Anything that takes place in the taxation in this country has to go to Parliament. There's nothing you can do about taxation without going through a Parliament debate to say yes, we agree. Because that is how the structure of the tax law is in the job. Even to incentivize farmers, you remember at the end of the financial plan, the Parliament sitting in April last week, because they were going to implement the tax relief for farmers. The Minister of Finance and Development Planning had to table the tax incentive bill for farmers in as short as a week for it to get to Parliament and be debated and Parliament approved, so that because they were to start benefiting in April. So that's the nature of the taxation law as it is. Was complaining about what the fees are, the fees and the tax in the taxes and all that. And, yeah, let me rest assure you, all these bill, like all these fees and what are published in the government gazette. Let me pay, I think it's 25 or whatever this at the Botswana Center. Now, what we are doing as the Ministry of Transport and Communications, we've been running on a very old, dilapidated network system, the government data network. It's probably 20 years old. And you can imagine if we say 20 years old, then where are we? We are now modernizing the GDN. The government portal has collapsed for now because we are now working on the enterprise architecture where all the ministries and government and parasocial organizations are going to be hosting content there. So that if you want information about the Ministry of Agriculture or anything, you'll be able to do that. We are almost there because we have two centers, data centers that are owned. The one is sitting in the Ministry of Education, the other one is sitting in the Ministry of Labor and Immigration. You know, that one, the old Ministry of Labor and Home Affairs. So what happened, what is happening as the technology people will know? If you have new hardware and you put old software, they are not compatible. If you have new hardware and you put old software, they are not going to work together. So that has been what is taking place. So the government is investing in modernizing those two data centers. We are supposed to be in the process of building a new data center, complete modern one. But we ran out of money before we could even start. So we are modernizing those and developing the enterprise sector. That one is complete. It's now that the business process of individual ministries are being worked on, so that we host the government information on the GDN. So it is coming. So the rest of, for instance, the other centers throughout the country are also they have been connected already to the enterprise sector from different sides of the country. 1,500 people are not mistaken. So they are already being connected and they will migrate into the new Oracle system. That is going to now be the platform for the GDN. So that phase, the last but one phase, the second phase, which is the biggest one, is being commissioned next week. So they'll commission and migrate everything into the new system. So be rest assured before the end of this financial year, we'll then have access to government data. The only problem is this one. Ghana and the individual ministries are the ones to put content in there. They have the IT managers from DIT, so we hope that process will not take long for them to host that. They will never get. And then try and come up with proper data that the public wants. The 25 life years, like I said, it's been discussed. So those are going to be published in those very platforms that I have talked about in the GDN. So you won't struggle to find out exactly how much you have to pay for a special text. Unfortunately, as I speak now, the GDN is not really up to scratch, and there's a lot of investment taking place. It should be complete. By December, I believe, should be there. And be rest assured that is taking place. The only delay will be individual ministries because they've got to look at their processes, load them into the enterprise architecture so that the system then takes care of them. Now, just a question here. What has to be in the public domain? There's a serious debate going on within the government, enclave and outside. We don't have money to build data centers. And then the question is, can we go cloud computing? Would you like all your information to be sitting in the cloud computing? Those who want it to be like that, can you raise your hands? Who owns cloud computing? Do you think you trust IBM? Is it only IBM?
Many.
Who controls them? Who controls them and where are they hosted? Can you literally go to an IBM cloud thing and say, this is it? Right, you're going to waste my time. Just forget it. Our debate within the government and outside is what data should be on cloud and which other one do we have to keep local? The annoying thing that I publicly talk about is that our banking details and information are sitting outside the country. And you know the risks associated with that. Then if the government says, I'm going to put investment in to try and bring that back in, some go about lobbying that others should refuse because they've got vested interest. Some of them are investors in the very banks that are hosting our data outside as well. They are shareholders, big shareholders in there. And they might not even be residents of this country. But because they have a controlling majority in them, they also get shares from outside for investment in those areas. They resist that. And let me tell you what the current Honorable Minister of Transport and Communications is called the bank scheme, and told them that we are modernizing the infrastructure in Botswana. And if the private sector is not coming up with new data centers, the government will facilitate that building of infrastructure and force the banks to host the network. Our data locally. And we are driving it. They are now saying, hey, cyber threat, cyber security. These guys can do cyber security. We've got a strategy that has been approved by the Project 7 committee 6 weeks ago. We are taking it to the next level. Right now, yes, I'm supposed to be in that meeting now, but they are sitting, the regulators was actually for that meeting, cyber security. So we want to strengthen our cyberspace in terms of security. So the government is on full throttle to make sure that Botswana sits on a secure cyber security. That document was discussed publicly. I also participated here because it was floated, meetings were called, stakeholders were called in, it was discussed and finalized. So the strategy is waiting to be approved by cabinet, and then it becomes a public document and goes to parliament. So we are on full throttle for security. Yeah, guys, don't fear to invest. I'll give you an example with this one. The government subsidizes one of the most beautiful data centers in the world in Harare. Now, it's so compact that you won't believe it. And they are hosting everybody in there. So they don't hear anything about cloud computing. So we are trying to, I have told my colleagues to go to Harare and benchmark on that. And we are going to do exactly that. Help those who want to be helped to build and modernize ICT in this country. As long as the current government as it is, as it is. I said when I started, the Minister of Transport and Communications was given the instruction to put ICT at the top of the agenda because HE himself is taking it down. So filtration of content, forget about it. He could have done that with the 2014 general elections because he was the Minister for Presidential Affairs and Public Administration. Eventually, no, he was the Vice President by then. Those who watch and listen to events at the World Society Information, World Telecommunication and Information Society, they hosted in Hansi. Remasis was happening on people using the internet, going into Facebook and what. And he loves it. We don't have any prospect of it being censored or being curtailed and blocked like what China all and they couldn't even do WhatsApp. The entire team, including the president, they couldn't do it. We are not in that area there. We want freedom of things to be done, but responsibly. Responsibly. They have to be respect for the rule of law. They have to be respect for privacy. there have to be respect for culture and everything. And if you go off board, instead of the government continuing the censorship and all that, they will pick you up when I as an individual. Because the court will write and ask for that the internet and they will publicity, the issue of court, and then you are in. So the cyber protection bill has been approved. So forget about censorship. That's why I say democratic country we shall continue that way. But okay, the penal code is there, and you go. The rest will remain enjoying the internet. So please advise all internet users also to be careful. They shouldn't think they are not being watched. The current one regulation is distribution of pornographic material and child pornography on the internet. And please ask your dear friends, as you said, for the public awareness. I only think 3 weeks ago. So let us protect ourselves and protect those users. We seem to be ignorant and think it's a free space. It's a free space, but people have to be responsible. Thank you, Director, for taking too long, but I wanted to clarify all this. And if you have another workshop, you want more presentations from other stakeholders, including our ministry, feel free to invite us to do that. This is Ghana Mahaki official launch, so we cannot go into deeper presentations. But arrange a workshop, Morena.
Yes, sir.
You invite us and we'll participate. That's what we would love to see happening in this country. That is, I have to be honest with you. I don't trust the internet. I'm not doing internet banking, so I have to admit. Yeah, because of my experience in the UK. I was doing internet banking in the UK. This was 2008, I think. 2006. And then my other friend, they literally started Malaguana such an alternative. So,
A round of applause, please. Okay.
Nice topic. We have to
Wow. I think Ashley is going to enjoy working with the Deputy PS.
I'm the director in Department of Telecommunications. I'm sitting in for the
you're sitting in for the Deputy PS. So thank you for that. Yeah. There'll be more of these events that I would host. I think later on, Mr. Chair would reveal our calendar of activities and some of our activities. Now, I understand our colleagues in the US are not able to join us due to slow internet. So I'm going to go ahead and invite Monkoli from Botswana Cody to come and give a presentation. And in terms of refreshments, okay, maybe we should break for refreshments and then come back for 2 more presenters. Then we can call it a day.
Monakiola is eager to say something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because so let's answer this question because I don't usually answer.
Which one?
I think it was
refreshments.
Okay, we will get questions after refreshments. I understand refreshments are ready now, so we can go and have tea and whatever, then come back for the 2 remaining presentations and take questions. Yeah.
Bagetso metsinyana ka hale. E ska le bala hore mo Botswana na le bagolo ka bebe ba tsela ka ke bebo. Ba ja go mora ba ke lights. Ga tsana go go. Bagolo ne re go borele.
Probably should be back in 10 minutes.
But I think my colleague could have already. I'll just find out.
start by inviting Mukori from Wana Enterprises to make a presentation on what they do in Wana, out of which is coding. They do a lot of coding, which is in line with some of the activities we want to do in the internet society.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, I can do that. It's so my name is Mokove Seredzeni. I work with One Enterprises. The CEO of One Enterprises, Mr. Moiketi Benedict, and I think most of us know him. So I'll talk short about One Enterprises before I can go into the slide of Africa Code Week. So basically, One Enterprises is a youth company that has been in operation for about 7 or 8 years now. So basically, we deal with 3 things: education, we deal with innovation, we deal with entrepreneurship. Now, on the side for education, we offer tutorial services. Our branch is in Francistown. I'm hoping that soon will be migrating here. And then we offer coding lessons for kids. We teach them basic skills of coding. And then the entrepreneurship side, we deal with the mentoring. We have affiliates with different organizations. We are running a global entrepreneurship network, Botswana. We have Startup Grind, which is a monthly meetup for entrepreneurs that we are running in Francistown. And then the innovation side, we run a tech hub in Francistown, whereby different entrepreneurs, they can come, rent a chair, they get access to your telephone, your internet, and boardroom. So that's in short about Wana Enterprises. You can check the Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, and then the website for more information about Wana Enterprises. So Africa Code Week, what is it all about? Why are we here? Basically, Africa Code Week is an initiative that has been initiated by SAP to introduce digital skills to kids in Africa, to communities, to youth in Africa, to give them the basic skills of coding. Now, Africa Code Week is in 3 ways. We've got a program that we use called Scratch. I'll show you an example of something that we made for using Scratch. It teaches kids the basics of coding.